everybody's favorite time of the year. It's when WWE goes to Saudi Arabia and we kind of facepalm a little bit, but we still watch because we are crazy wrestling fans. But look, it does have to be counted as a pay-per-view. We do have to look at it as somewhat of a big deal. And that's why I am here right now with my body, with my physique, with my head, and with my nose, my ears, and all this other stuff to predict WWE Super Showdown. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a spoiler. Yes, you're going to lose my mind, or my mind, you're going to lose your mind when I predict the main event. But sometimes you just got to go out on a limb. Otherwise, what's the point of living in this planet? Let's predict WWE Super Showdown. We will start with an interesting one because it is the New Day taking on John Morrison and The Miz for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles. Now, given that The Miz and John Morrison have only just got back together and that Morrison has only just come back to the company, you should be saying to yourself, surely these two bad guys need to win the championships. But me, as somebody that watches World Wrestling Entertainment, thinks, well, I would rather that happened at WrestleMania, because if it happens at WrestleMania, it's going to be a much bigger deal. And that's why I secretly get mad at Super Showdown, because when you do have it on the road to the show of shows, it just gets in the way. But I suppose you could twist that around and have Morrison and The Miz win here and then lose it at WrestleMania. You know, the good guys standing tall again. But I'm a bit bored of Big E and Kofi Kingston winning the tag team champions. I think the official count is that they've now won them 42,678 times. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say that there's some kind of miscommunication or something, and the Big E and Kofi Kingston do retain. But then this feud continues. We get to April the 6th, whenever the hell WrestleMania is, and finally, we put the belts around The Miz and John Morrison. Because right now, can't really understand why we brought John Morrison back. It's as if we just wanted to take our pants down and crap on his head. I mean, we haven't seen that literally yet, but never put anything past Vincent Kennedy McMahon. We're also going to have another tag team championship match. And of course, I'm not talking about the women's tag team titles because they don't exist anymore. Their picture's going to be on a milk carton soon. But it is every damn time. It is Murphy, don't know who Buddy Murphy is, Murphy teaming up with his partner Seth Rollins to take on the Street Profits. And unfortunately, I can call this one quite easily. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy are going to hold on to their belts. And the reason I say this is that you can just see on Raw that Dawkins and Ford have been shoved into this because clearly WWE just needed some opponents that could lose. And honestly, I don't understand what we're doing with the Street Profits on the main roster right now. They're never even in matches. They just do weird backstage reports, or they do get put in a contest and they just lose. And it's going to happen here again. You can't keep doing this, although our saving grace may be that on the most recent episode on Raw, Seth Rollins defeated Montez Ford, and sometimes when WWE does that, it's because they're going to do a little bit of a title change. I feel like I'm just holding on to a dream that's going to float away and be blown up by a plane because it's not going to happen. I really like the Street Profits, I do, but I think they are flying out to Saudi Arabia to lose. And you know what will happen too? The AOP will come out, they will just like smack one of them from behind. Seth Rollins will hit the curb stomp. It's a finish you've seen thousands and thousands of times, but you're going to see it one more. Don't know. And talking about things you have to see over and over and over and over again is going to be Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a steel cage match. And here is what I need to happen. I said this on SmackDown Ups and Downs recently. I will reiterate it now. I need Roman Reigns to spear the head off the king so it literally rolls into the aisleway or something, because then I know when I do tune into Friday nights for the foreseeable future, I can no longer see Baron Corbin versus the big dog. I mean, it ended at the Royal Rumble, and yet somehow, a few weeks on, it never, ever, ever dies. But there is no way Roman Reigns can lose this, because if you look at all the WrestleMania plans, it seems very obvious that he's going to win at the Elimination Chamber, and then go on to WrestleMania to fight for the Universal Championship. Now, I am going to throw a spanner in that works in around about 3 or 4 minutes time, but we're not there yet, so I'm zipping my mouth. You can't have King Corbin win here. Because if King Corbin wins here, it means I have to have another match between these two. And then, you know what? If you're not going to decapitate Baron Corbin, I'm going to take a knife. I'm going to stab it right in my eye. I'm going to stab right in this eye. But I don't have any eyes anymore. And if I can't see, I can put my fingers in my ear and just pretend that this doesn't exist anymore. I can't handle any more of Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin. They're in a cage. They can have some fun. They can do some violent stuff. Give him the Superman punch. Give him the spear. Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. We're also going to have the gauntlet match for the Tuwaiq Trophy, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm wrong, yes, I am a bald asshole. You are allowed to call me that in the comments. But we are going to see AJ Styles taking on Andrade, taking on Bobby Lashley, taking on Rey Mysterio, taking on R-Truth, taking on Eric Rowan, but of course we don't know what brackets they're going to fit into. Because it's a gauntlet match, which means you're going to get two. One person's going to stay on, the other person's going to come in. Then you're going to get that match, and so on and so forth. And honestly, given the entire focus on Raw for the last 2 weeks, maybe even 3, if AJ Styles doesn't win this, I'm just going to punch myself in the head. Did it anyway. But really, nobody else here even needs to win. R-Truth is just doing whatever R-Truth does. Andrade and Rey Mysterio are going to be part of a tag team match on Raw, so they have a focus. Eric Rowan has to worry about his stupid cage. Bobby Lashley is going to do whatever the hell Bobby Lashley is going to do. I presume Rusev just comes back at one point. Don't forget, Rusev was meant to be in this match. There's some kind of secret rumor stuff going on, so he got kicked out and Rey Mysterio brought in. Whereas AJ Styles, well, if he wins this, he can just act like a bigger heel and a bigger asshole than he already does. And that's even more important because, again, the murmuring, the whispers are that at WrestleMania 36, it's going to be The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. So in the meantime, you got to build AJ Styles up as much as you can. Hell, have him be the first person to come out here and have him beat all the other guys. I don't mind that. I think Styles is brilliant. And again, he can use that and he can use the 2-8 trophy, whatever the hell it's called, to say, dead man, I don't need to worry about you. I have won this meaningless thing. That's what I would do anyway, and I'm going to stick with it here. Plus you have Gallows and Anderson. I know every match I've booked so far has distraction finishes, but it's WWE. Have you watched their main roster products? That happens constantly, so you've got an easy way out if you want to protect anybody. AJ Styles takes it. Next up is Bayley versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is another one that confuses me, because I thought we were going to do this at WrestleMania, and now I've got the fear, because I guess it could be Bayley versus Lacey Evans at WrestleMania, and I'm just not into it. I'm just not. I just can't get behind Lacey Evans, even though she's the sexy Southern Belle, or Southern Sassy Belle, whatever the hell she calls herself. And unfortunately, I don't think we're changing the SmackDown Women's Championship in Saudi Arabia after Bayley has held it for so long. Like, it is great that finally we are getting women able to fight in that country. I mean, it blows the mind, but hey, small steps. So yeah, as much as I like Naomi, and as much as I feel like she never actually gets a proper push, I think it's going to happen again here. And I think Bayley's going to win. And she'll probably cheat by holding the tights or putting her feet on the ropes. That means nothing in modern day WWE. That is forgotten quicker than anything Mojo Rawley does. Which means when we get to SmackDown, Naomi will probably be persona non grata. And like I say, Bayley will just go on to a feud with somebody else. Well, the other rumor, of course, is that we're going to get 3 Elimination Chamber matches at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, the third one being the SmackDown women. So she can watch that from afar, get her opponent. But I just can't see WWE doing Naomi again, so I think she's on a crash course to being screwed over. Bayley is my pick. And the same goes for Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet for the WWE title. No, I don't mean that I think Bayley is going to win that. Can you imagine Bayley just walks in like Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31 and goes, "Oh, I want to fight you now, Brock Lesnar." He would squish her like a bug, but unfortunately he is going to do some squishing and he is going to do some bugging, and that is on Ricochet. I predict that this doesn't even last 2 minutes, and Ricochet kind of gets a flurry of offense, and Brock Lesnar, who can't be bothered because he's flown all the way to another country, just gives him one F5, and again, I say maximum, he loses in 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes. Don't get me wrong, that is not what I want, that is not what I need, but we're not going to take the belt off Brock Lesnar when we're building up to this big Drew McIntyre match, and as much as I love Ricochet, I don't think WWE has the same feelings towards him that I do. Again, it's like Naomi. I think he's on a crash course to hell. Nobody wants to be on a crash course to hell. It's really, really hot down there. I hope he gets one near fall. That's all I want. One cool move and one near fall. But a big part of me thinks he's not even going to get that. I don't even have to tell you. It's going to be clean as a whistle. Ricochet is going to lose. And Paul Heyman's going to go, I told you. Because apparently in my world, Paul Heyman is an old man with no teeth. Brock Lesnar is probably literally going to annihilate him. Which brings us to the main event, the thing I've been teasing throughout all this video, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg. You're not going to believe this. You're going to get mad in the comments. I'm not saying I want this. I'm predicting it using my brain and using stuff I've read on the internet, which again is all gossip. Who knows how true it is? I think Bray Wyatt is going to win the title in Saudi Arabia. And on this night, I think Bray Wyatt is going to lose the title in Saudi Arabia. And the reason for that is WrestleMania 36. It seems to have burrowed its way into Vince McMahon's head that he needs to change up the longer range Bray Wyatt / The Fiend versus Roman Reigns match. I don't know why he would do this. Maybe the fact that Goldberg's been on SmackDown a couple of times and ratings have gone through the roof has convinced him otherwise. But yeah, I think Goldberg is going to launch a spear out of nowhere. He's going to catch The Fiend. He's going to get the 3. Don't get around, The Fiend's going to jump right up and be like, "Oh, I can't believe that happened," because something's going to happen to his voice. But it does mean going in to the biggest show of the year, you get spear versus spear or Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. And the reason I also think this is that we're told it was meant to be John Cena versus Elias. That's also been cancelled, which leaves John Cena open for WrestleMania. And this is kind of what I want to see. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, especially because who else has done more of a hit job on Bray Wyatt's career than John Cena? That's why The Fiend can go after him. And if you let him win at WrestleMania, you've probably rehabbed the fact he lost at Super Showdown. So that's what I'm going with. Man, if it happens, don't get mad at me. I'm just throwing truth bullets out there. It may turn out that I'm absolutely wrong and Goldberg just loses, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to. I think WWE thinks there is more worth in keeping Goldberg strong so he can come back here, there, and everywhere, and that Bray Wyatt can take a loss if he's beating John Cena at WrestleMania 36. I think it's going to go long. I think WWE has learned from last year with The Undertaker and Billy Boy. 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, at the end of it, Goldberg's going to be stood there with da, 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 and he's going to have the Universal Championship. And I'm going to go on Twitter straight away and see the wrestling world implode. It's also not been announced, but there is a small chance we also get Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. And all I need to say about that is that Braun Strowman will win. Shinsuke Nakamura wouldn't even win this if they were in the damn Tokyo Dome. He ain't going to win it when they're out in Saudi Arabia. That's my predictions for Super Showdown. Now you got to take your finger and start smashing the keyboard and let me know in the comments below who you think's going to win all these matches and get mad at some of the things that I've said. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to What Culture Wrestling. Head over to whatculture.com to read yourself more articles about the Saudi Arabia show. Follow What Culture on Twitter at What Culture WWE to keep up to date with all the wrestling news. Watch more videos here on What Culture Wrestling. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, at some point on Thursday, because it just happens at weird times over here in the UK, I will up those downs for Super Showdown. So if you don't want to watch what's going to happen there, but you still want to know what's going to happen, I am your bald-headed man.